Today, we are focusing on an often overlooked but critical topic: workplace safety. Ensuring a safe work environment is not a legal obligation but also crucial for business success.
Small businesses are often dealing with the day to day. They're busy thinking about how to keep their doors open and how to make sure that they're making profit. And sometimes safety is maybe not forgotten, but it's not as important to them as it should be.
Whether you are a small business owner or a team leader, remember that a safe work environment benefits everyone. We encourage you to explore the free resources available to make safety simple and achievable.
And so when I think about workers that may be young workers or new Canadians who aren't experienced in the workplace, they're at an increased risk.
Welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Today, we are focusing on an often overlooked but critical topic: workplace safety. Ensuring a safe work environment is not a legal obligation but also crucial for business success. We will be discussing how small businesses can tackle challenges like violence, harassment, and theft, and what steps they can take to protect their employees. We are excited to have Pamela Patry, a seasoned health and safety consultant with Workplace Safety and Prevention Services, WSPS. Pamela has extensive experience helping small businesses in Ontario navigate safety regulations and simplify safety solutions. Today, she will be sharing valuable insights and resources for small business owners. Pamela, good afternoon. Welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. How are you doing today?
I am terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity of interviewing you at our show. Pamela, small businesses often, juggle many priorities, but health and safety are crucial because they protect employees, reduce downtime and prevent costly legal issues. Can you tell us why small businesses should prioritize health and safety despite the challenges they face with time and resources?
It's a wonderful question, and I'm so glad that we're here to have this conversation. Small businesses are often dealing with the day to day. They're busy thinking about how to keep their doors open and how to make sure that they're making profit. And sometimes safety is maybe not forgotten, but it's not as important to them as it should be. And health and safety can impact the workplace in so many ways. It can impact the morale with your workers, as well, like you said, the legal side of it, the financial costs that go along with safety. And so we like to think about safety and really promote with small businesses that there really are simple solutions. Safety does not have to be complicated. And, we really want to find those ways to help small businesses achieve a safer work environment.
Yeah, that's a great point, Pamela. It's clear that safety isn't just a matter of compliance, but also a way to build a strong business culture. What are some of the unique challenges that small businesses face, when it comes to addressing workplace violence and harassment?
So, absolutely. One of the biggest things we're hearing right now in workplaces is that violence and harassment not only continues to be a trend, but it's rising. And in small businesses, it continues to be the same way, that violence and harassment from worker to worker, as well as from customer and client to worker, is on the increase. And small business owners need to address that issue in their workplace because it is a hazard and it is impacting their workers. And they have a duty to take that responsibility and keep their workers safe from all aspects.
Yeah, thanks for shedding light on the important topic, Pamela. It's clear that small businesses need to proactive about they need to be very proactive about these challenges and to not only safeguard their employees but also protect their reputations. Dear listeners, when it comes to workplace safety, the time to act is now. Don't wait for an incident to happen before you start taking steps. Whether you are a small business owner or a team leader, remember that a safe work environment benefits everyone. We encourage you to explore the free resources available to make safety simple and achievable. Speaking of proactive measures, let's dive deeper into managing workplace violence and how small businesses can mitigate this risk. Workplace violence, as everyone knows, and also the harassment are on the rise, as you said, and small businesses are not immune. What are some key warning signs that a customer is that a customer is becoming agitated, and how should staff react in these situations?
We've all been there. We've been in the line at the store and the
Everyone
cashier.
experienced that.
Right. They have. Everyone's experienced
Right,
it.
right.
And we've probably been on both sides of it, where we start to feel our emotions building up and we're looking at our watch and we're starting to feel that anxiety that goes along with maybe shopping or being in a line. But most of us stop at that point. Most of us stop and we feel that anxiety or that rushing, and then we take a breath and we're okay. But some customers or clients may not have that ability to remember to take that breath, and so it leads to that harassment behavior or that bullying behavior in the workplace. And so some of the things as a worker that you can look for include, recognizing some of those signs, the maybe shakiness, the raising of the voice, the tapping of the fingers, and the looking at the watches. Those sorts of signs really will start to lead the workers to realize that maybe this customer is starting to feel uncomfortable or is starting to move into that next step that could lead to harassment or bullying.
Okay. Can you share one practical tip with our audience, like when this kind of situation arises, what's the first step they should take?
I think the first step is you can't solve it for everybody,
Right.
but remembering that everybody has a reason that they're here today. And whether it was travel or roads or, a fight at home may have escalated their feeling today in your workplace. And so it doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't make it something that you should accept, but recognizing that. And, even for a worker, take that deep breath because you're about to maybe have a confrontation or an uncomfortable situation. Take that breath and have the conversation, address the customer as best you can. I understand you're in a hurry. I'm doing the best I can, and really trying to personalize it and make it that personal side of it, both for you as a worker and them as a customer.
Thank you, Pamela, for sharing these important insights. It's crucial for a small business staff to be trained in de-escalation techniques to ensure their safety. But sometimes, situations can continue to escalate. What are the next, can you add few more steps if the situation continues to escalate and potentially become violent?
Absolutely. And the business owner needs to have a plan in place so that a worker is not in that situation to have to figure it out themselves. And so when I think about workers that may be young workers or new Canadians who aren't experienced in the workplace, they're at an increased risk for all hazards, but definitely violence and harassment as well. And so the employer really needs to make sure that they have a plan. So things like conducting a risk assessment. Do they work with money? Do they work alone? Do they work in the evenings? Those would be all reasons that they may have an elevated risk for violence and harassment. And so, looking at, okay, we have an increased risk. Now, how are we going to train our staffs how to deal with it? Maybe it's locking the doors at a certain time. Maybe it's having a panic button, having increased lighting in the business or in the store. Those sorts of things are going to deter potential robberies and thefts, which go along with violence and harassment and sort of that next step in the dangerous situations.
Right. So the key point you want to highlight, you have highlighted here is having a plan in place from the employer side so that, it ensures the safety of their employees.
Absolutely. That's
Right.
a great
Well,
summary.
Right. Pamela, with 41% of small businesses, citing workplace violence and harassment as a key concern, what is the first step business owners should take to address these issues?
Acknowledging that it exists. Really, I really encourage small businesses to say, what can I do this week? If I have 5 extra minutes, and it doesn't have to be a lot because we know small businesses don't have a lot of extra time to do anything. They're trying to do their job and keep their business going. So if you have 5 more minutes this week, or if you could carve out that time, what could you do around safety? And, really starting with the addressing, what do I have? What are the hazards I have? Talk to your staff, because they are in the environment. They know what they see and what they don't see, and they can give you a lot of really great insight into the concerns that they have where they work.
Yeah, as you rightly said, it is very, very important to communicate with the staff, right? They can provide you the practical feedback, right? Yeah.
It makes them feel engaged. Right. It makes them feel a part of the workplace. And it really helps them to feel that they're not just a part of working, but they're really a part of the family, the environment, and they feel valued.
Right. Thank you so much, Pamela, for sharing these insights. These valuable tips that can really help many small business owners manage the tough situations, and it's very crucial for owners to equip their teams with the right tools and knowledge. Dear listeners, workplace safety is a must for all businesses, big or small. After the break, we will talk about managing workplace violence and harassment and how small businesses can protect their teams. Stay with us.
You dreamt big. You made the leap. You and your "we're not stopping at small" business. Doesn't matter you've never done it before. You unlock those problems. You adapt to change. You learn to evolve. You're pioneers in challenging times, finding your own frontiers. Wherever you e-commerce, UPS is with you. So nothing is going to hold you back.
4 billion people check their email every day. That's 4 billion missed opportunities if your message doesn't make it. To reach your customer's inbox, you need a winning strategy. And Constant Contact delivers. Literally, over 97% deliverability. Elevate your email game with easy-to-use templates, writing assistants powered by AI, and in-depth metrics. Ensuring your email is flawless, delivered, and read. Constant Contact delivers. Give it a try.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect, and recharge.
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we discussed the importance of health and safety for small businesses. Now, let's focus on managing workplace violence and harassment, something every business needs to be prepared for. Now, let's shift our focus to another rising concern, theft and robbery, which poses a significant threat to many small businesses. What are some practical steps small businesses can take to minimize the risk of theft and violence in their operations?
Absolutely. And again, it's coming back to that plan, but having an open eye into what the business looks like. So where are the blind spots? Where can you not see around a corner? And where are you putting some of those more valuable products? And, you know, if you put the more valuable products either behind a cupboard or something that might be, or certainly in the view of the employee, then that's going to deter the theft of those products. That being said, if someone's coming in to steal, they're coming in and
Right.
They have a plan in mind as well. And so making sure that our employees know it is not their job to stop somebody from stealing. It's not the employee's job to run after somebody who might be participating in that sort of activity. And, you know, their job is more to get a description, call 911 or the local emergency number in their communities, and being able to report it is certainly the role of the worker, not trying to tackle them to the ground and protect the assets of the company at that point.
Right. The strategies and the points that you discuss really sound very effective. Making small changes can indeed make a big difference. If a robbery does occur, what steps staff can take to protect themselves and minimize the harm?
You know, when I was young, I worked in a small business in a pharmacy. And I remember my boss saying to me, if we were ever robbed, one, give them what they want. That always is the answer. If they want the lottery tickets or the cash, you're going to give it to them. But two, when they leave, lock the door.
Immediately.
Lock them out so that the people who are left in the business are the witnesses. not the robber sneaking back in and playing a new role and confusing the situation. That one always stuck with me. That was an interesting one. But, hitting the panic button, calling for help, and getting that description is the role that our workers can play, and really trying to keep themselves safe, but not being confrontational. It's not the way that's going to end in success or safety for that worker.
Right. The important insights that you have shared, every small business owner and employee should know, with rising theft incidents, proper training can make all the difference. To our listeners, if you are looking for ways to safeguard your business, consider tapping into the resources offered by WSPS. They provide easy to implement solutions that can help you stay compliant and protect your team. Safety doesn't have to be complicated, and with the right support, it can be accessible to everyone. And next, moving on, let's talk about how WSPS, your organization, is simplifying safety for small businesses with some excellent free resources. For many small business owners, safety can seem as overwhelming with all the rules and regulations in the marketplace, but it doesn't have to be. WSPS offers free tools and resources that simplify the process. How can WSPS help small businesses streamline their safety practices with the resources you provide?
Absolutely. And so certainly knowing that some of the listeners are across Canada, WSPS is Ontario based. However, we have lots of resources that would help a business in any province. Things like risk assessments that we talked about. We have a very simple tool that you can use that'll guide you through some of those questions to determine where are my risks and where are the concerns around violence and harassment. We have an employee handbook that is so simple to use, and it walks the owner through in maybe 5 minutes some of the questions that will generate a training manual for your employees. So you can then give it to your workers, walk them through it, and have great conversations about your business, not just a handbook off a shelf, but this one they're able to personalize with just a few clicks on the computer. So it's a really fabulous tool to create their own worker handbook. And then we also have things like checklists that will walk you through, what does the legislation say? What do I need based on the size of my workforce? And just really looking for simple, and you don't have to create it new. It exists. So, talk to coworkers, talk to your workers, talk to the business next door even, and say, what do you have? And that's going to go a long way to start those conversations. And, certainly our website has so many free, simple solutions. And we know that that's what businesses need at this point.
And what's the website address?
WSPS.ca.
Thank you. It's wonderful to hear about all the free support WSPS offers. These resources, I believe, can make safety much more manageable for small business owners. If a small business owner is unsure where to begin, what would you recommend as the first step in building a safety plan?
The first step I would say is, find those 5 minutes, check out our website, and then contact us. We have staff that are happy to help. We have staff that'll do walkthroughs and have conversations about your businesses. So it's not just about the generic. It's really about what's important, what's happening in your workforce, to really try and determine what are the hazards and what needs to be dealt with first. You can't do safety overnight. You can't do it all today or tomorrow. You have to make a plan.
It's a process, right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And bite-sized. You have to do it in those small bite-sized pieces. And that's the way small businesses will find success.
Right. Thank you for those insights, Pamela. It's comforting to know that small businesses don't have to face those challenges alone. WSPS is truly a valuable partner in helping them navigate safety regulations. Pamela, you have shared so much valuable information today, and I'm sure our listeners are eager to learn more. Where can small business owners go to find more information and access the free resources that you have mentioned?
So visiting WSPS.ca is a really great place to start. Hit that contact us button. There's also a small business center right there on that homepage. So it'll take you right through, drive it to our small business area where you'll find all those free resources and a button to contact us for more help.
We will also add those links in the podcast description. Thank you so much for sharing those resources, Pamela. It's great to know that help is just a click away for small business owners who are looking to make their workplace safer. Pamela, before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or advice for small business owners when it comes to health and safety?
Health and safety doesn't have to be hard. There's organizations like ours that are ready to help you with free, simple steps to take. And then I would say just really think about your workplace. It's about where you are and where your workers work. And that's what you need to think about, is how to protect them from the hazards in your workplace. And so if you take that step back, and you don't have to think about everything, but you need to think about where you are, and that you care about your workers and you want to keep them safe. And that's why we're here. And we know that that's what business owners believe as well. So it's just helping them to take that first step.
Okay. As we are celebrating the Small Business Month in Canada this October, from WSPS, do you have a key message to the small business owners across Canada?
So WSPS is celebrating Small Business Week and Small Business Month throughout October. Simple safety solutions is really our message. And follow our social media and follow our website to see all of these free solutions to get that support that our businesses need.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for sharing your valuable insights on workplace safety with all our audience today. Your expertise will help empower small businesses across Canada to create safe environments. It was a pleasure hosting you today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. As we wrap up today's episode, we want to thank Pamela Patry for joining us and sharing such crucial insights about health and safety for small businesses. From understanding the importance of safety, managing workplace violence and theft, to utilizing free resources, we covered some truly impactful points today. We want to take a moment to thank our partners, RBC, UPS, Constant Contact, IHG Hotels and Resorts, and Google for their invaluable support in making this podcast possible. To our valued listeners, don't forget to tune in to our official website, CanadianSME.ca, to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine for more insights, resources, and expert advice on growing your business. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the next episode.